next speaker. Are you ready for our next speaker, Mike?
Absolutely. Excited
Okay.
about this.
Yeah, okay. He is, many think he's the mean shark on Shark Tank, but we know and we love him as Mr. Wonderful, and he truly is wonderful. It's funny because I have four aunts, and they're elderly, and they were just here for Christmas, and one of them loves Shark Tank, and so I was telling them all about the sharks and how great Kevin is. And, I did say this, and I do mean this. I've worked with Kevin a lot, and he is super easy to work with. He shows up, he does what he says he's going to do. He keeps his word, he keeps his commitment. And he really is just an incredible entrepreneur and individual. And I think he plays the mean shark a little bit up because you got to have a villain, right? So he really doesn't need much of an introduction. But the reason I love having Kevin on and talking to him so much is because he's the real deal. I mean, he sold his first company to Mattel for $3.7 billion. He's a founder of multiple organizations, O'Share Investments, O'Leary Wines, Something Wonderful platform. So, Kevin, cheers.
Thank you. I just heard about this whole wine thing, and I got to tell you, Robin, I jumped immediately to my number one seller, my Chardonnay. I've won awards over the last 6 years for this. This is my Chardonnay, unoaked Chardonnay. And guess 80% of sales of Chard are by women. And most of my Chardonnay is sold direct to consumer in 42 states. I'm just doing a little plug here for shopmrwonderful.com. But now that you're giving me that chance, I can't help myself. So I'm having a little sip of the Chardonnay.
I would be hugely disappointed if you did not plug your wine. I mean, I was telling Nancy that. I said, we're doing this Great Minds Drink Alike. I'm down here in Florida, and I think O'Leary Wines, because we had it that one time, you did a fundraiser at my house with St. Jude, and we got all the O'Leary wines, and they're really good. I mean, this sounds like sort of dickish. I don't mean to be, but I was like surprised. I was like, oh, because it's being sold on QVC. I'm like, yeah, and it's modestly priced. It was really, really good. It's still exclusive to QVC, correct?
Well, Robin, this is a great segue to what you do so well. For 5 years, when I was selling in retail through all the massive retailers, I lost money every year. And then the laws changed, and I was able to ship to 42 states direct I've got 3,000 acres in California, Washington State, Sonoma, Napa Valley. And we started shipping direct. We partnered with QVC. There's 6 million people on a minute. Direct to consumer changed everything for me. Profitable to wildly profitable. And now I'm running a $10 million wine business, and I know every customer. I have a relationship with them. That's what you're about, Robin. You're about telling people to connect with their customer, develop a relationship, find out what they want, and service them. That's exactly what O'Leary Fine Wines did 5 years in a row. My wife said to me, you got to stop this. We're losing millions of dollars. This is crazy. And I turned it all around. Now we make money, and she's not whining anymore. She's not whining about the wine.
But so you were selling through QVC that whole time, right?
Yeah, well, QVC became a partner when I switched. I dumped retail because it's 3 tiers of distribution. 97% of wine in America, Robin, is sold for under $15 a bottle. So that means I've got to make millions of cases, which I do. I have the logistics. I flew to Philadelphia. I met with the executives and said, guys, let's form a partnership. Everybody knows me as the shark that loves wine. I've got a brand. People trust me. I curate these wines myself. I blend them myself. I've got my own winery in California. I think I have your back on wine. I'll make great wine for under 15. And then we have to acquire customers. You've got 6 million customers a minute, all women. I sell my wine to purchase decisions in the home on beverages. They make the decisions. 88% of what I sell is to women, and they tell me what they want. They like rosé, they like sweet wines, they like Chardonnay, they like Pinot, they like Cabernet Sauvignon. I've got a huge test group, but it's all about that relationship direct to the customer. That's what business is about in America today. I don't care what sector you're in. I don't care if you're in the wine business or selling jeans or selling sneakers. You got to figure out how to go direct to consumer, and that's what you do well.
And that kind of ties into something I'm going to ask you about, which is, Shark Tank really is a launch platform for businesses. And you absolutely have played that so well, leveraging your brand, Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. You've become, like a household name. Like I said, I'm here on my beach house. I've got aunts that are coming in, they're in their 70s and they love Shark Tank, and they know, and they watch it. And it's such a powerful personal brand that you've developed that then filters into all your other business ventures. And one of the things that I teach clients is you want to become a personality brand, because right now we got enough of everything. Like you said, there's millions of bottles of wine, there's millions of pairs of jeans, there's thousands of marketing companies. Like we all have enough of everything. We know there's like no shortage of anything but common sense these days, right? And so so what advice would you give? I mean, you clearly are very, very good at this. And I know you're doing it intentionally. Maybe you're doing it subconsciously, but how important is that personal brand differentiating in the marketplace today when there's so much of everything?
You have, so I don't want to blow your head up any bigger than it is, but they have to trust, even when it's not easy to say it. And I get called the mean shark as I tell the truth, but it is the truth. And people in their gut know it's the truth. If your business has no merit, it's going to go to zero. Somebody has to tell you, you've got to try something else. And I'm the person that does that. And yeah, I take a lot of flack for it, but it's still the truth. Forming a bond of trust with the consumer. When I tell people that this Chardonnay is as good as one that sells for 66, they either trust me or they don't. And luckily, most of them trust me. They try it, they believe it, and that I form. Trust, the world, social media, direct to consumer, all of the marketing that's direct. And yes, you're right, Shark Tank's an amazing platform, but it's really based on, I believe certain things and I tell people, this is what I use, this is what I buy, this is why I invested in this company. Here's my thesis. What motivated me to put $250,000 or $500,000 to work. I think it's a great product. And I'll give you, when a woman came on and said she was doing cat product called Base Paws, all the other sharks laughed at the pee out of a cat, put it on a Q-tip, sent it to a lab, and told you how to keep your cat healthy, particularly around oral health. And cats sort of 12 to 17-year life. Believed in her. I invested in her. That is a huge $100 million business now, because she told the truth about this thing. There's 100 million cats in America, more cats than dogs. I believed in her, but she had that vibe, Robin, that consumer trust vibe, and she went. And I think that's what Shark Tank's so good at, getting these entrepreneurs a chance to speak and give them. It's all about direct to consumer. It's all about trust. It's all about brand. It's all about relationship.
Right. Right. No, I agree. Because I think it's, again, people, they're buying from another person, especially the more we move into a world where Amazon can deliver everything to your doorstep in 5 seconds. And at the cheapest price, and so what's going to make somebody choose your brand, your company over somebody else? And it's that trust. And it is a lot of the leader and the personal brand and so forth. I mean, that's really, really key. So another question I have for you is, if you remember back at boot camp, one of the things you said to people in the audience in the IT industry, because remember, they're all in the IT industry, cybersecurity, compliance, all the remote work and remote workers and so forth. And you said, look, if you don't double your business, it was either double or triple, you're an idiot. And you said it very nicely. I mean, but talk about telling the truth. Now that we're at the end of this year, do you still believe that? Like, what are you seeing from a technology, like your investments and all the companies that you have? Is tech still as hot? I mean, I know the answer, but I just want to, hear it from you.
Hotter than ever. Let me tell everybody that's listening the truth, because I've got so many investments in so many different companies in so many different sectors, 34 of them. Everything from insecticides to wireless charging to gym equipment to commercial equipment. All my entrepreneurs know nothing about technology. They have no idea how to secure, no idea about what services they should, how to engage with the cloud. because they're really good at what they do. They know gym equipment, they know wireless charging, they know commercial kitchens, they know cupcakes, they know all this stuff, but they don't. And and I deal with them every day, and we're trying to standardize on platforms that can service us on security, on all the different licenses we need from the Microsofts or whatever.
Compliance, compliance.
All that stuff. And so the opportunity for your constituency is to, a CEO that's successful is spending their business. They're not running their back office tech to run it for them. And so what I said last year, I double on that. If you're not tripling your business, you're an idiot. That the whole world is direct. It's online. It's social media. We just, you turn it on, you expect it to work. And so if you are able to provide that service and give, top quartile customer service around tech, you're going to make a lot of money, because entrepreneurs do not spend their time sitting down online learning, how a server works or how a cloud service works or what an IP address is or what technology they have for security. They have no idea. And if they're spending their time doing that, they're wasting their time in terms of growing their business. It's your job to solve it for them. And they'll pay you for it because they need the service. It's that simple.
Yeah. I know the biggest challenge, like if you remember at boot camp, we talked about they don't typically lose clients. They sell these agreements on 3-year contracts, often a year to 3-year contracts, so they don't lose customers very often. It's all recurring revenue because IT is a recurring service. I mean, you need it every day, 24/7, 365. And your comment was, it's all about all the money, the effort, everything has to be about acquisition, marketing, acquisition. And so, again, I just love that, maybe if they won't listen to me, they'll listen to you. It's Mr. Wonderful.
Well, so. I mean, customer acquisition is everything, but the best practices that have built up a customer base is word of mouth, ambassadors that you're servicing to tell other potential customers about the quality of the customer service. IT is about customer service. They don't contact you when something goes wrong. I don't have to tell you that. And it's how fast you can fix those problems or expand their capability or do the things, additional services. It's only going to get more important every year. All you have to do, to me, it's all about customer service. They're very price insensitive when everything's working and you're giving them great customer service. The only reason you would lose a customer is because you're not taking care of them. And you deserve to burn in hell for that. That's my view.
Cheers. Okay. So, one other question, because I want to, we've got our next speaker. I guess maybe two. One is, are you wearing pants? No, you're probably wearing pants. You're just wearing flip-flops.
No, I'm not wearing pants. I don't wear pants. I'm famous for it. I wear Japanese fishing pants. They're comfortable. They're package friendly. It's good in the office. I like it. And I'm not going to see my pants, Robin. So what does it matter what I got? I may have no pants on right now. Who knows?
Well, that's what I was wondering. I'm sitting here drinking, going, I wonder if he's wearing pants. It makes it more interesting. Maybe what we'll do is we'll do under the desk video. If for those who donate a lot of money to St. Jude, I don't know. We'll think about that, but it's all good. Now, what for this next coming year? What do you got going on that's exciting, that's new, that people should be checking out? I mean, what do you got cooking for 2022?
So in 2022, and Nancy, who and I work with, we are doubling our budget on social media. We are going to what we're calling vertical. We are hiring teams that platform independently. We used to have 1 or 2 people that worked on all of the platforms. We're not doing that anymore. TikTok is different than Instagram, is different than Facebook, is different than Twitter, is different than LinkedIn. And this is for customer service and customer acquisition, that this is our fastest growth area. So we're doing a lot more work in new content for each platform. For example, we shoot TikTok horizontally for Facebook, vertically for Instagram. And everybody that's doing this knows what I'm talking about. But this is our biggest growth area. Social media, when you see me on television, whatever show it is, doesn't matter. I get more views of that show on social media than on the network. So we take that content, we reposition it, we work with the networks, we redeploy it globally on all of my platforms. I have millions of followers. 2022 is about learning social media and customer acquisition. It's going to be because this pandemic thing, it's changing. The whole pandemic thing, but it's forced consumers to start considering about forming relationships with companies they care about. I mean, that's what matters. And so if you're in IT, you are the infrastructure of that relationship. Everything has to work, and it's your job to make it work, and customers will pay you for it. So let me leave you with this idea, because each year we have that saying, if you don't quadruple your business, you're an idiot. That's how I want to leave it.
All right, that's great. All right. Well, Kevin, appreciate you as always. You're great to talk to. I hope maybe, if you're down in Miami, I get to, maybe you'll entertain me for like a visit or something, come over and say hi to you or whatever in Florida. Where are you?
Rob, I am in Miami, and I was at the Fajina for lunch today. I got to tell you this story. And these two high schoolers were right beside me, and I was talking to one of my financial services guys, and we were having this deep dialogue about fixed income in the portfolio I'm managing. And the high schooler, I love the guts of a 17-year-old, comes right up to me and says, look, I go to high school in Washington, D.C., Shark Tank night. The whole school watches Shark Tank. Could you please do a Zoom with our high school? Here's all my information. And I said, kid, you have kahunas. I love the fact you walked right up to me. You asked for the order. You got right in my face. And of course, I'm going to do it for you. But I did more. I called up Clay, the producer, right after that in LA and said, this kid is fantastic. Let's put him on Shark Tank. Now, who knows what's going to happen? But Clay loved the whole nachos thing. I love those serendipitous moments. It's so cool that would happen. But remember, you got to ask for the order. You have to ask for the order. You got to get up there, stand up and go ask for the order. That's what that kid did. He's 17.
Yeah, no, that's a lesson I think every entrepreneur listening right now, because they get too timid and they don't want to ask for what they want or what they deserve, and then they end up settling and getting nothing. So very cool. But yeah, appreciate you. Cheers to you, Kevin. Yeah, and Happy New Year.
Wait, just before we go, just to prove it.
Okay.
Zachary Lubdar, he wrote it down on this little note and threw it in my face. Zachary, you kick ass. You're fantastic. That's it right there.
All right.
How cool is that?
That is very cool. I'm going to make sure my kids see that,
Yeah.
like they're going to do that for sure. Okay.
Robin, great to be with you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.